Bam, we back. Young Z TV. My boy Mayhem back in the building.
What's going on, man? I
What
love being here, man.
what it do? New book, new day, new
Right, right.
things popping.
Yeah, I got my new book out, man. Black Excellence. You feel me?
Oh yeah, let me see. Oh, Black Excellence. Oh
Right.
yeah, I've
And
been
this
seeing you
book,
promote that.
yeah, it's basically a book about I just highlight a lot of our ancestors, old, living and dead, and I just highlight some of the things that we've accomplished, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I highlight everything. So I just
Mm,
something that we should already know, be familiar with, and the ones who you might not know, but they're all people worthy of us knowing.
right. So what inspired you to do this one?
Well, this is in sequence. I'm doing a whole series called the Black American Edition. My first book, Black Excellence, you feel me? Is about like Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Mm,
Rosewood, the New York City draft riots, and all the other black massacres that occurred in America. So that book was about all the historical events that happened
mm,
right there. So this book is a nonfiction book about all the black people who accomplished great things in America. My next book is going to be called White Excellence, and it's going to highlight the white people who really helped black people become free, liberated, the liberations or the abolished people who really got black people free. Not Abraham Lincoln, but the real people. And then my last book is called Black Masters, where I talk about how black people enslaved European people, Spain and Portugal, for 700 years. And that is the beginning of slavery. That's how slavery started. And that's the foundation. It don't start in no slave trade in the 15 and 1600. It started 700 AD. So that's the four books that I'm going to be creating for people who are considered the black nation, black people in America, ancestors. So all of our children should be kind of familiar with what happened so they understand why we got here and how we can do better.
that's what's up, man. I commend you for that. Black people, it ain't no more excuses. We come with like, man, why they don't write books telling this or saying this about black people. This man took his time out to put it out there for you to read, so ain't no more excuses. Y'all go get that book.
Books.
Books. Yeah, go get them
It's
books.
gonna be four
Well,
here. Two down, two to go.
already. That's what's up, man. Anything else on the table?
I'm working on the third book right now. I'm working with my partner in Fort Worth, Abdul Chappelle. We're creating a nonprofit organization. It's a community center. You know what I'm saying? So we can got
Mm,
people talking about jobs, and we're going to open up his organization called Build a Better Hood, and basically we're going to be opening up community centers where people can come in there, study, work, get resources. You know what I'm saying? Get some game, whatever. And then we're gonna be dealing with the schools and stuff like that. But that's something that I'm working on right now, as well as promoting these books and writing the next book.
that's what's up. Hey, bro, I want the mayhem before the penitentiary was gangster mayhem, crip mayhem.
I was more, I would be considered more of a drug dealer, but I was definitely a gangster, gangster drug dealer person.
And
Yeah.
while you was incarcerated, you changed your life over and you got out and you didn't switch back to the gangster mayhem, the drug dealer. You kept it positive. You writing books and trying to change things in your community, man. What inspired you to keep on doing that instead of going back to the gangster drug dealing man?
Seeing the end result to being a gangster. You know what I'm saying? I guess to survive being in the streets or survive living my life, to survive it, to still be alive, man. And it's a blessing, and it's an honor, and it's a privilege to be alive for me. A lot of people who grew up with me did not make it. A lot of us are either dead or we got life sentences. Uh, you know, I'm grateful not to have a life sentence. I got my time that was doable, so I was able to do my time and come home. But just from living in, I had a bad circumstance, and until I learned about our ancestors, I used to think my life was real raw. Before prison, before prison, I was gang banging, but before gang banging, my dad was murdered. You know,
Mm.
my mama was an addict that died of an overdose.
Oh man, you lost your mom and dad.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah,
How old was you when
my
that?
dad died before I was even born.
Oh
I was,
man.
my dad died New Year's Eve, 1977. I was born April 29th, 5 months later. My mom died in October of 77, the same year. So I went to seven different. I grew up in foster care.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Sorry to hear that, man. I never knew that.
yeah. A lot of people don't. I didn't just start out. Prison just wasn't my only problems. I had a lot of problems, man. I mean, I was in special ed in the seventh grade. I got shot when I was 13. You know, I got
Mm.
jumped on by Dallas police departments when I was young with guns. They beat me down. I had a lot of problems. I went to prison at 18 years old while I was still attending high school. I went to prison for aggravated robbery and attempted murder, and I was grateful for that because I know I could have been, I easily could have came to prison for something a lot worse. What I was capable of doing, I appreciate the aggravated robbery charge, and I appreciate my attempted murder charge. I accepted my time, and I used my time wisely. And I said, man, I don't want anybody to be as hopeless, you feel me, as I was. But I used to think my life was bad until I read about our ancestors, and I read
Mm.
about Frederick Douglass, and I read about George Washington Carver. I read about Booker T. Washington, man, and I looked at my life and I said, my life ain't that bad. It ain't that difficult.
Yeah.
Compared to our ancestors who still did not cry about their situation, but yet they excelled and they believed and they self hard and they tried. And when I saw what they did, that inspired me to
Right.
say, man, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I would much rather deal with what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's really okay. You know what I'm
They
saying?
they
Once
inspired you to
they
do better
inspire me to,
things,
they
and
inspire
the
me to
things
feel
that you
better.
doing is gonna inspire some of these young kids, young men to do better.
Maybe so.
It's like a ripple effect.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's the point. But my thing is, what if I would have never learned about them? Then I would have always kept feeling sorry for myself. I didn't know what
It's a
adversity
lot of
was.
people in that situation
Right?
right
They
there.
think all they
Right.
know is they self. So if all you can see is yourself, then it's gonna, yeah, of course you're gonna feel sorry for yourself. You're gonna feel like poor you. And I used to feel poor me until I read about Frederick Douglass. If you read about Frederick Douglass, you might throw the book down a couple of times. That's why when I write about him, I write about something you can read. But if you read about his autobiography, which is there's a book about his whole autobiography, if you can read that, I bet you throw the book down at least one time because of how they was treating him. Not because you can't read it, but you'll throw the book down because you would not believe what they did to him or what was going on around him. And he's just a messenger. But you'll read that book, and what you'll read in there will be so powerful, the book will slip your hands and end up on the ground. I bet you. That's how powerful his story is. You won't
Mm.
believe what they was doing. And you'll know it's true by how he communicates. So, but anyway, that taught me that, hey man, I'd rather go through my life than face what he went, because again, he made it, and a lot of people don't make it, and he made it, and he grandstand, he Deion Sanders about out of his slavery. So, but those
Yeah.
things helped me, inspire me, and motivated me, along with praying and God and religion. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm a Christian, and I pray. You know what I'm saying? And I try to use that as reading Proverbs is a big thing. I read all religious books, but Christianity and just being smart. Proverbs was the biggest thing that really helped me maintain my composure.
Man, it always will, man. That good word, that good book.
A good book.
For real.